Hello and welcome to another beginner's look at video for Affinity Publisher beta program, and this one we're going to be looking at using presets and saving presets for your new project as you start it. So let me start the process of making a new document. So go to File and New, and you get this panel that comes up. Now this panel is fairly typical of all the Affinity products, Photo and Designer, and you have some presets in all three of these programs that are in this section at the top here, which is Type, and this is set on Type, and then you have Print, Photo, Web, and I think of the other two products it just goes straight down. I don't know whether it has devices, but it doesn't have devices or presets, I don't think. So these are the presets that you can use, and if I leave it on Print, for example, after that you have other presets such as different sizes and for letters and legals and what have you. So these are all preset by Serif, and again you can alter millimeters and what have you, and all the different options. Now this is all well and good if you want to use Serif's settings, but what if you want to use your own settings? This is the whole point of what we're looking at here. But first of all, I just want to have a quick look down the different types of presets we got here. So like I said, we start off on Print, which the only difference I can see between Print and Print Press Ready that I physically can see is the color profile, because on Print it's sRGB, and if I put it on Pre-Press it changes to US Web Coated. Oh, and it's CMYK, which is what a lot of printers would want rather than RGB, which is what your own sort of in-house printer would probably use best rather than CMYK. So that's the only difference between Print and Print Press Ready. Now Photo is basically all the different photo sizes. So you have all these different various photo sizes that you can set up for. And where is it? Next one is Web, which is a sort of a size that Serif says is a good size for using for web. If you only got to post to the web and not going to print it out, you don't necessarily need a high definition. So it starts off with a 72p DPI, and they've given the size of 1280 by 800. So if I just cancel that and open recent, this is one that I set up just to test this myself, and this was the web preset that Affinity set up for me, and I just used it as a test to see what it would look like when I posted it to my Facebook group, Fans of Serif Software, and I think it ended up looking quite good. So as if you're just going to do a web-based image, you may want to go for that web-based preset. Let me just close that down, and we'll go back to being onto New again. Now we're coming on to let's go to devices first of all. So devices, they've got a load of different options for, well, they've only got the iPad, and then all the different iPad options you've got here, and some Apple Watches and Nexus 5. So if you want to set up an image for that particular size, you can use one of these presets. So after that we have there's the option for presets. Now I have saved a couple myself, but let's start off making a new one, and I'm going to go back to print. So this would be like the default setting that Serif has set up for print. But if you're going to be doing this regularly, and you're going to change all the settings all the time to what you prefer, you don't want Serif's settings, then you can save that preset and use it every time. So with that in mind, say you might want to go with pixels or points or whatever, but I'm going to leave it on millimeters. You may want to change the color format or the DPI. Now the only thing I'm personally going to change myself here is, in fact what I will do is I will make that facing pages starting on the left, and I am going to change the margin. For some reason Serif set margins at 25 millimeters on 3 of the sides and 30 millimeters on the bottom margin, which for me is far too much. Now the margin is just a guideline to where your sort of home-based printer can go up to the edges, so you don't put something too close to the edge and it will be missed. I personally prefer to keep this margin myself, and I normally set it at 10. But you can retrieve the margin from your printer. Now I have my printer on. If I click on that there, it is retrieved that my printer can go up to 3 millimeters to the edge of the paper. So that is how I'm going to set this up. And then all I need now is this menu here. You've got a little menu to the side of it here, and you can create a preset from the settings that you have now, and that will come up as unnamed 1. If you come back to this menu, you can rename this, give it a name that makes sense to you, and for me this is going to be A4 with 3 millimeter margins, and then OK. So now if I come back to this menu, the presets menu, there should be, if it drops down, the ones that I made earlier. So I have an A5 with 10 millimeter margins and an A4 with 10 millimeter margins. So if I click on that one, as you can see, it's now going to be A4 with 10 millimeter margins. I mean A5, sorry. If I come down to the A4 one, so you've got the A4 settings here, 10 millimeter margins. Or the one I've just set up, which is the A4 with 3 millimeter margins. So if I click on that, it will start off the new document with the 3 millimeter guideline margin around the edge, which for me is a little bit too close, which is why I stick with 10 millimeters for my guidelines. But that's just showing you how that works. So every time you start a new project, close it down, it will remember what you last did, so you could just click OK and carry on. But if you've altered that again for your next project, and then the next time you want the previous one, you can just come to the presets and open that one. So you are saving how you set up each document that you're going to use quite often. Hopefully that all makes sense. So that is it really. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.